You speak Spanish?
No. I speak French and Portuguese. So I was born in France, but my family's from Brazil. So, but if you speak Spanish slowly, I can understand a little bit.
So what's your story?
My story?
How you said you're not from US, right?
Yeah. So, I guess I'll just give you chronological order. So I was born in Paris, and my family, my dad and my mom were living in Jamaica. So they just wanted me to be born in France, but then we went to Jamaica, and that's where I grew up the first 4 years of my life.
Okay.
And then...
That's crazy.
Yeah. Then after that, we went to France for a year or two, and then my dad got another job in Qatar, in Doha. And so...
What did your dad do?
He's an engineer.
Okay.
Yeah. So we lived in Qatar, in Doha for 4 years, and then that's when we learned that we were moving.
Okay, got it.
Perfect.
Yeah, so you moved.
Yeah.
I interrupted you, sorry.
No, it's okay. And then from Qatar, I moved to Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay.
A random city in America. But it's funny because it's the city where Muhammad Ali's from. So it's like, you know, it's a random city, Kentucky, right? You wouldn't think it's like, you'd want to live there. But out of all the cities, like, that city is special, you know?
Okay. So when did you start training?
I started training, so when I first ever put gloves on,
Yeah.
I was probably like 8 years old. When in Qatar, my mom, there was this Romanian guy, and he would make me swim and box. Like, it was like, my
weird
mom
connection.
literally random. And then his wife would teach me how to play tennis. And so at first, I wanted to be a professional tennis player, but then once that stopped, I knew like what I wanted to do, and it was fighting. So I started off with boxing and judo when I was young, a little bit, but when I really decided that I wanted to be a professional fighter, I was like 16, 17 years old. Yeah.
And what made you decide you wanna go that way? What was the pull?
So when I was on my journey to become a professional tennis player, I went to this school called IMG Academy, and it's considered like the best sports boarding school in the world, right? And it's in Tampa, Florida, which is on the other side.
Yeah.
And when I was there, right, there was like the best basketball players, the best soccer players, the best football players, all in one boarding school. So it was like the jungle, you know what I'm saying? Like the top athletes of the world, young, you know? And I hate to say it, but I love tennis. But you don't get any respect, you know what I mean? Like, you're like, I'm a tennis player, you know, and then there's the football players, the basketball players. And so really at first is I just wanted like respect. I was always like, you know, I'm not a small guy, like I'm a big guy, but I wanted that respect. And I feel like when I got out of that school, I knew immediately that's what I wanted to do, you know, was learn how to fight for real.
Do you think tennis taught you anything for fighting, like movement and stuff? Because that's like an unusual connection.
Yeah, that's true. So definitely, I feel like there's this thing called the quiet eye, and it has something to do with hand-eye coordination. And I have a lot of like knockouts where it's like precise, like I'm knocking the guy out and it doesn't look like I'm like throwing 100%. And I attribute that to tennis because in tennis, you know, hit the ball going fast and you have to hit it right, move your feet. Yeah. It involves that it's called the quiet eye, so definitely.
Okay. So what's your situation in MMA right now? You're how many fights you had? What's your record? What's your plans and all of this?
So I'm actually the national Muay Thai champion. I'm on the Team USA for Muay Thai. And at first I only wanted to be a striker. I don't know if you've heard Glory Kickboxing.
Of course.
That was my dream. But once I moved here, I came here for college, and also we were living in DC after Louisville, and that's why I really started training, was in Washington, DC. I knew when I could leave my parents that I wanted to come to the beach. So I was like, all right, I started going to school here, and I found a gym here in Miami. And when I would come and train with people, there would be like high school wrestlers that would be taking me down.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, like I have to learn how to wrestle, you know? Yeah. And that's when I got into my MMA journey. And now, so I have a total of 16 fights. 12 Muay Thai, and then 4 MMA. And then I'm 2-2 in amateur MMA, but that's only because if you look at the fights, in amateur MMA, there's like different rules. You can't knee to the head, you can't elbow, exactly. Which for me, I'm Muay Thai, so it's a disadvantage to me, you know what I mean? So if you look at the fights that I've lost, if they were pro rules fights, it wouldn't even have went past the first round. So that's why I was like, next week I'm making my professional debut on CFFC.
So it's actually your debut?
Yeah, professional debut, yeah.
Okay.
Next week.
How do you feel about it?
I feel good, honestly, yeah. I had an opponent, they switched out the opponent because the guy pulled out. I'm fighting this kid named Julio Brody. He's like a up-and-coming prospect in Baltimore. And I think it's gonna be a good fight, you know. He's good, and I'm ready for anything that he's, you know, gonna do, so.
Cool. And how's training in Kill Cliff? Because Henry Hooft is a legend in striking. So how do you feel about training here?
So I've been here for, I would say about 8-9 months, and honestly, it's been life-changing because, you know, most of the time before, I would be, you know, the top dog in whatever gym I'm going to, you know, and like I feel good, you feel good, you're like, yo, I'm so good. And then you come here with all the top dogs in the whole world, and right, so it's completely different, you know, you humble yourself and you have to really think, how am I gonna get better? For example, sometimes it's not even just in the training, but it's everything outside the training. Like, let me get my sleep, my nutrition, you know, everything, my mental, right? Because I'm going in there with guys that I've already got that all organized, you know, and it makes a big difference.
Yeah, I just talked with Anza, who said he trains 3 times a day.
Yeah.
3 times a day. So
yeah.
you train every day around that kind of guys, and I think it has this inspiring effect, right? You want to be part of group, and the group also is already pushing, you know, hard.
Exactly.
And I've been here just for like 10 days, and I could see, you know, how you guys kind of like motivate each other, and there's also this camaraderie at the end of each training, like hard work.
Yeah.
It's really cool, and I think not every gym has the same attitude and connection, right?
Yeah, my fault. Somebody called out.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. So what you're focusing on right now? Is it striking, is it grappling, wrestling? What's been your camp for this debut?
So really everything, you know, ready for anything, because me and my bro, we consider ourselves strikers, so we know that even if the opponent is a striker, once we hit them and hurt them, they're gonna shoot. So we're ready for anything, whatever. If it goes to the ground, if it stays up, you know, we just ready for anything. You know, I feel like we're well-rounded MMA athletes, for sure.
Okay, and what will be your plan for the next 2 years? You wanna make your debut next week, and when do you think you will fight next? Like in 3 months more? What would be your plan?
I would say, you know, the average is 3 months, depending on, you know, how it goes. Because even when you win fights, you know, you might hurt your leg or something like that. But you know, this is all we do. Like, this is top priority. There's nothing where, you know, oh, I have to do this before this. Whenever it lines up, that's when, you know, we'll take the opportunity. We're not saying no to anything.
But why MMA and not stick to Muay Thai and striking? If you already excelled in it, so why not make a career just out of this?
Honestly, like I said, like, first of all, I heard that Glory, there's not too much money in it. But really, even if there was, it's about, I couldn't be a world champion in boxing or in kickboxing and know that there's people out there that could beat me up in the street. Like, the reason I love MMA is because it's everything. You know that if you're a UFC champion, you're the best person at your weight, you know, in the world. And I feel like, I don't know if it has to do with ego or what it is, but it's just something in me that is like, I can't resist, you know, chasing that.
Got it. Right.
That's my bro. I live with him. We live together. Yeah.
Cool, bro.
Yeah. I feel like if we could bring him, because we're basically brothers, you know, and we're literally together 24/7. So it's like, he's definitely a big part of my story.
He's your actual brother?
He's not my actual brother, but people think for some reason that we are brothers, you know? I think it's because we both have a little Asian in us or something, but
Okay.
we've been friends for a while, and now we've been living together, driving together 24/7. I feel like a lot of people, you would get annoyed at some point of, you know.
Has he made his debut or?
No, we're fighting on the same day next week.
Oh my God.
Back
We
to
gotta
back.
bring.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Let's begin it.
Yeah, exactly.
Where did he go?
I don't know. Let me call him right now.
Yeah. That shit crazy.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, yeah. Yo, come back, come back.
What are you asking about him?
I met him in Morocco, and man, he might be the best grappler I've ever trained with. He's like 17-time ADCC champ.
Yeah.
He had the longest submission streak in MMA history. So he's different.
Where did you guys train?
So there's this guy here, his name's Ismail Nordiev. He's in the UFC, and he comes here and trains here from time to time, but he lives in Morocco. And so he took us to Morocco, and we trained with him at his gym in Rabat. I went there first time in February, and we stayed for 3 weeks. That was the first time, but we're definitely gonna go back for sure, yeah.
Yeah, let me mic you up because
Yeah.
I'm hearing some craziest stories. So when did you guys start dating?
Crazy.
No, but you just said you guys live together, train together, and
Yeah.
you're friends. How
All the
did
time.
all of this happen? The friendship.
Actually, somebody just asked me that. We started training at the same gym. That's basically under the same kid, Nahom Demisi. He's like has 28, 29 Muay Thai fights. He's really good, super experienced, and we both started training at this one gym, Beta Academy in DC. And when I started training there, I went to Howard University, and then it was right down the street, so I would walk there every day. When I started training there, I didn't know Lucas, but Lucas had already trained there, and now he was living in Miami fighting. Remember, when I first found out about him, it's because he was fighting in Mexico. And and I was like,
Really?
man, yeah, and I was like, right, so he was already doing big things, like fighting the number 3 Muay Thai guy in the country in Mexico and beat him. And I feel like when I was just starting, right, and I saw that, it motivated me crazy. I was thinking, right, there's other young kids my age, right, came from the same spot as me that are doing big things already. So it was right, another motivation. And then every time he would come back to DC, because his parents still lived there, we would just be hanging out. That's how it really started. First time we saw each other, we hung out, we trained together, and then after we hung out and we were just kicking it all day, hanging out, we went on in DC you can hike, so we went out in the mountains and we hiked and we were just talking all day and training and I feel like here it's different because everybody is their life's around training, but when it's not like that and you are first starting, it's hard to find people that are as dedicated to the craft as taking it as serious at a young age as he is. So it's we really just met, and our love for martial arts really brought us together, and we were just doing this. We would call each other. I remember I'd train, and whether my training went good or bad, I would call bro and be like, yo, my training just went like this. How'd your training go?
For real, we
Training,
every day.
Literally every day.
That's so funny.
I'm telling you, and then and it's usually they say that this is the loneliest sport in the world, but really it's different because for us, I feel like it's just bringing me more people that are close to me, right? Even my bro here, then we just met Dan Holt literally 4 weeks ago, and he's already my bro, he's already super close with us, and it's funny how martial arts is guiding us in the right direction. That's why I say I believe in our martial arts journey because every step that we take is bringing us to something better, right? It's not we're taking steps and then it's damn, I don't know where I am. I don't know we're actually exactly where we want to be, like, right, where we prayed to be before, we're actually exactly there right now.
Even better than we could imagine.
Couldn't imagine,
like
right,
we couldn't
imagine
have
this.
explained it like this.
Exactly,
You know what I mean?
right. We're here, Robbie Lawler is coaching us, Herbert Burns, Gilbert Burns, Kamar Usman, Impa Kasanganay, right? Imavov is in here, talking with him in French, like, right. All these things, it's like, right, it's more than a movie, I feel like. It's different, it's like, right, and the thing, obviously, I guess everybody that goes here would say the same thing, but it's kind of different because, right, when we're doing it, it's like we're really bros, saying we live in the same crib, like we always are talking, always bouncing ideas back and forth, like, right, working on our craft, and really, right, that was only what, 3 years ago? That was really only 3.
Like we haven't done nothing yet. That's the thing. We haven't even done nothing yet.
Yeah, so we're just, right. Since then, it's like we've had like, right, 10 fights between us or something like that, like literally crazy amount of fights and so many finishes and different things. We made our amateur MMA debut 1 week apart from each other, and now we're making our pro debut on the same night, literally.
That's crazy.
Yeah, literally, I'm telling you, it was like, because he was doing Muay Thai before me, like I said, he was already good at the Muay Thai, and he has, 14 Muay Thai fights, and right, but we did start our MMA journey at the same time, right? It's right, we both started grappling at the same time, both started doing the MMA fights at the same time. I remember like I started going to this new gym, Kaizen MMA. It's actually one of the coach Sensei Nima, he comes here a lot. He has a good relationship with Henry.
He's the one who brought us here.
Yeah, he brought us here, right? So it's like such a full circle thing, like, cause even, right, I came down to Miami, but we weren't going to Killcliff. We were just here, but then my coach came down, introduced us to all the guys at Killcliff, and now it's like, right, a bigger family. He comes down, Nurullah Aliyev, when he comes to America, he comes to my gym, Kaizen MMA first, and then we'll come to Killcliff. So it's like, I feel like one big family, like, right, that's where we're going tonight, actually, when we hop in this fight, we're going to Kaizen MMA to be with the family again, right? Just all one big group, I feel like,
How did you guys start meeting, like living together? What was the idea and who came up with that? Like,
so I feel like I would go back and come visit him. My parents ended up moving to Miami, so I wasn't going back as often as I would. And he started visiting me, right? And we were like just talking about how, I guess I was throwing the idea, maybe you should come here, because basically my dad has an apartment, and the apartment had another room that was being remodeled. And I was like, when that room's done, I don't know who else I would want to live there other than you. And then, we were really just trusting the process, and it ended up being that he had to move out of where he was at the exact same time that the room was done. Yeah. So we were just thinking, all right, let's just try it out. And he came, and it's, ever since.
And what is living like with your bro that trains with you and like being basically like a two-man team?
Yeah.
How do you think it's different? Because you said it's the loneliest sport in the world.
Yeah.
And most of the guys I talk to, they train by themselves basically. The only place where they meet other fighters
is at the gym.
Is in the gym, or maybe every now and then they will have like a breakfast or like a dinner. But that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty fun.
And I'm really curious how do you think, like, what's the impact of it?
Yeah, well, what we were saying when we first moved in, we were saying, what is it, the Bulgarian horses. It's like we can pull more weight with 2 people. So, right, whenever somebody's feeling, I feel like it's just always motivation. We actually have another saying, it's like we're on Animal Planet. It's like, right, when you choose the channel, a lot of guys, right, will be in the gym and they'll be thinking they're in the jungle, but then they go home and they're, right, talking to their girl or doing this or watching this. But I feel like since we live together, it's like Animal Planet all the time. Like we're talking about fighting all the time. We're thinking about fighting, right? Even if one of us is not thinking about fighting, the other one's thinking about it, bringing it up, right? Exactly. It's a constant reminder, right?
Like before, when I was living by myself, there's times where I could be like, all right, you know what? I trained hard tonight. I'm not gonna do anything. But now it's like I have a mirror where if I decide that, and he decides to go train, I'm just at home and I'm like, yo, right. The other half is training right now.
And so he knows your schedule, so he knows you're slacking.
Exactly. So it's like, it really, it's like a mirror.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
literally.
Like that's what it is. So
Yeah,
it's like,
keep us in check.
It's a
We're
blessing,
like both
yeah.
right. One of us wakes up late, where the other person's checking them, right?
Yeah.
One of us is like, right, not trying to train as hard, the other person's checking. So it's like, right, it's always just keeping us on track and keeping us focused, because we both got the same goal to be the best fighter on the planet at our weight class. So it's like, right, we're both working towards the same thing. And it's like, right, it's like, just like he said, it's motivation because we're teammates, but it's also like, right, we're almost, right, not letting the other person outwork, because, right, we both got the same dream. And obviously it's healthy competition. It's like, right, we're gonna keep working, right? This guy's not gonna hit the bag longer than me, right? I'm not gonna be sitting in the room while bro is training, right? So even, right, on our bad days or tired days or thinking we're 50% energy, something like that, it just keeps us locked in on the grind. And right, I feel like the focus is different. And also it's like, we get to do so many things together. Also, there's a funny story about how we went to Morocco recently, and it's like he had a fight, and we talked about the fight because the rule set was not good. It was like his last amateur fight. So amateur fights in different states have different rules, and in the state that he did it in, I think it was New Jersey, it was no kicks to the head, no elbows to the head, no knees to the head, no ground and pound to the head to a grounded opponent. So right.
So wrestling?
Yeah,
That's what I'm
basically
saying.
wrestling,
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
So basically wrestling, exactly. So that weekend, so he accepted the fight on a Tuesday, which gave him, right, 4 days to get there and fight. We couldn't get the flight for me, and I was so sad. I was like, dang, I couldn't, right, be there for my bro. Last minute fight, like he needs me right now. But it was perfect because that Saturday that he fought in the morning, Ismail Nardiev, you know who that is? Austrian Wonder Boy or Burr's dog. He fought in the UFC. He just got a knockout UFC in, what was it, Azerbaijan or Baku? Doha, okay. But he invited me to train on a Saturday morning, and it was Ismail Nardiev and Malik Masayev. They just invited me to train. He was guessing camp, and it was like, right, just me and Ismail one-on-one training. It was like we did some sparring, and then we did some cardio at the end. But that basically introduced us to, right, the Nardiev family. They helped us, right. After in a couple months, it was Ramadan, right? We're both Muslim as well, right? The thing is, we're both Muslim reverts as well. During Ramadan, they flew us out. He texted me, you want to come? And I was like, I do, but my bro has to come too, right? My brother has to come too. We both came to Morocco. It was a beautiful experience. I mean, right, first time in a Muslim country, first time in Africa, first time, right, on that part of the side of the world, right? But I feel like all these things, like I said, it's a great, perfect plan, right? I was sad that I couldn't go, but then it just opened up an opportunity for both of us. When we couldn't even expected that. Right? That was better than anything we could have even expected for that day, for sure. I mean, right, all these steps I feel like are just leading in the right direction. That's why I say, right? Yeah. I was saying that to him the other day is, I don't feel like I'm getting nervous. I used to get, right, obviously when you first start off, anything you first start off, you're gonna be getting nervous before you perform, like even a singer, right? But now I feel like I'm getting less nervous just because of how the path has been laid out, right? It's God's plan, so it's like, right, for me to doubt, after all these things it's lined up perfectly, for me to doubt would be completely like contradicting my belief in how the plan has been going so far. So it's like, right.
But it seems you guys have something special, but how do you think it's possible more fighters can recreate this? Do you think it can only happen organically? Or
I think
you guys should get into, let's say, like a camps, you know what I mean? Like,
I think that your focus and love for the martial art is like a beacon of some sort, right? It's like when you're putting out the energy or you're focused, because right, at the time before I met him, it was lonely, right? It was, nobody was, right?
I used to say that, I'm telling you, if you ask the people at our gym,
right,
I used to say that when I was living there, before he was there, I wish there was someone my age, like chasing the same dream, because, you know, and then really what I tell, because I have other like younger fighters that I train, you know, because just like Nahom Demisi trained us for free, was passing on the knowledge, right? I feel like I have to do the same thing to these younger fighters. Really, it's whoever wants it is gonna show up every day. And if you show up every day, like he's saying, it's like you're, manifesting. We call it manifesting.
Right, you're giving off a certain energy wavelength, and the other people with that same energy, whether they know it or not,
are gonna
come together, right? You're gonna be attracted to these things, right? The different people are gonna connect, right? It's like now I feel like we're finding that the opponents that we're getting, we already know them, right? We've seen them before. That once you're in the world, the world's pretty small, right? Once you're in the mixed martial arts world, and obviously you have to train. Ours was really organic because we did train under the same guy right from the start. But all you need to do is focus on yourself and your own path, and I feel like it's gonna come, right? It's gonna come.
You're the same age?
Yeah, he's actually 9 months younger. 8 months younger.
September, January. So
okay. Literally 4 or 5 months. 4 or 5 months, literally.
So I was thinking, like, sometimes you can have the same dream, but there's a difference between an MMA fighter who's like 19 and someone who's 29.
That's true, right? That's very true.
Even if you, let's say, have the similar experience with fighting, you're at different levels of your life.
That's true.
And priorities, for the older guy, the retirement might be a bit closer. So
You're right.
I think it's the whole different mentality, even though professionally you might be on the same level.
100%.
In life level, not. So I think this camaraderie can happen if your guys on the same level, basically.
Right, it lines up,
and in sports.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right.
Right. Ask if you're the same age.
Yeah, because we're cool with Tuco is like our boy, but he's older than us. He's got more priorities than us, so it's he's like our big brother. It's not really like us where we're really brothers. We be bumping heads, talking about cleaning the dishes, talking about cleaning up the crib, It's like we're really twins, brothers, something of the sort. Yeah,
it's true because even sometimes, for example, I remember we're together so much that sometimes we have interactions that we wouldn't be as comfortable with other people having, And it's funny because then when I see him and I met his family, because he's met my family before I met his, and then when I was with him around his family, I was seeing the way that he is, and I'm thinking that's just the way he is around his family, you know what I mean? So I was thinking that means that's really my bro, So it's just funny how, we're just blessed.
Yeah.
But it starts with the belief, Yeah. Because if I wasn't here, he'd still be doing this. If he wasn't here, I'd still be doing this. So it's
parallel line.
Exactly. So it's it's not about worrying, and it's about believing and trusting, that God has a plan.
That's true.
And that,
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's very true. It sounds crazy. You're saying, how do you recreate this? But it's just don't even think about it. Literally, just keep going on the path, and hopefully it'll lead you to there. But you're right. I don't know how somebody could recreate the stuff that we're doing.
I'm asking because somebody might be listening to it and thinking, I don't have that person next to me, I train at the gym. I have some friends, I have my team, but I'm basically alone.
Because you're right. I feel like when I was at my other gym, I do love everybody over there, but you're right. I feel like for some reason, I wouldn't want to hang out with them. I would just go to the gym and then come back home. Go to the gym and then come back home.
I had the same experience.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. And then I don't know. Honestly, because when we first hung out, it wasn't only the gym, When we first hung out, it was the gym, and then we were just hanging out. Yeah. Sometimes it wouldn't even be going to the gym.
There's things that line up, and I guess this is one of the things that lined up, and I feel like that's when we became cool, and this is kind of off topic, but not really. So basically, when I was in DC visiting, sometimes I would talk to girls, whatever, and I was talking to this one girl, and I went on a date with her,
When we really say all these stories, it's crazy how stuff lines up.
So basically, I'm on a date with this girl, and she goes to the same university that he goes to. So it's a huge university, so that's not oh my God, that's all right, you go to the university here. And I'm on the way back to her dorm, and we're talking about people, and I bring up Buddha, and she's like, bro, that's my neighbor. That's my dorm, the very next dorm next to me, that's him. I'm like, what the fuck? So then I go to her dorm, and I don't even go inside her dorm. I knock on his door, and he's like, how did you get in here? And then I ditch the girl, and I hang out with him.
Yeah, we were
And
just
from
hanging
that
out.
day is when it was like, all right, this
She
is
was like
yeah.
in there. It was like we dapped each other up. Yo, what?
Yeah.
And I was like, come in.
Yeah.
We like hanging out. We're watching TV, and then it was like us just talking, and
Yeah.
she was in there, and then
like, I
like
guess I'm gonna
after
go.
like an hour, she was just like, all right, I gotta do some stuff, and he was
Yeah.
like, I guess I'm just gonna stay here, right? I guess I'm just gonna stay here. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So many things that just lined up crazy ways. Also, we went to the same school.
Yeah, IMG, that school I was talking about. He
Before
went
we
to that
even
school.
knew each other.
Yeah, but
I
right
went
before.
to a boarding school, and the very next year, he went to the same boarding school. So we missed each other by 1 year. And then right after he went to the boarding school, he went to DC. And then right when he left, I came to DC to the same gym. So it's like, it's hard to, it's obviously, people can recreate the friendship, I guess, but there are some very specific things that make it seem like it was always the plan to be where we are today. But then it's like,
Do you guys ever fight? There is a friction?
No, we've never fight just because we'll just be like, I don't know, I guess. It's nothing ever too serious, where we're just fighting over.
I feel like it's because
simple
we, the way that we are, we're not, how do I explain? I want to say we're intellectual in some sense that it's being mad is the last thing that we're gonna choose to be. So it's obviously sometimes we irritate each other, that's normal because we're together in the car 24/7.
Yeah,
you know
24/7.
But I feel like, I don't remember the last time I was really mad at somebody in general. I try to be, that's the last thing that I want to be is angry,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm maybe not asking about angry, but if you spend time all the time with someone.
Yeah, we
then
definitely,
you
I
get
feel
tired.
we definitely have moments where we're just
You're tripping.
all
All right, you
today.
tripping,
Yeah,
bro.
all right, bro, you're tripping. I feel like we be arguing over hypothetical things all the time.
Yeah.
That's what we'll argue about, a hypothetical situation.
Exactly.
Hypothetically, what if this? Bro, nah, that's not how it would go. And then we're just back and forth. But it's just because we're together so often. And then but even if we get mad at each other, what are we gonna do? We're gonna be mad.
And then we gotta go train.
And then what?
I guess
all
we gotta
right,
take the
come
same
train.
car.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly. All right, we gotta go train. That's exactly what I was gonna say. We're mad
And
at each
then
other. Then
you
what?
really release it all in the training.
Literally.
After that,
That's true.
That's what I loved about training too, is because you train so hard, and then at the end, it's not that your mind is blank, but you don't have energy to think about anything that's
being mad about
unnecessary.
something. Yeah, exactly.
And
So-
if you're angry, you can settle with the bro every day.
Exactly.
Yeah, literally.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Wrestle about it. Yeah, literally.
It's so true.
That's true. That's the beauty of martial arts for sure.
What do you think might be better about gyms in general? Because I think there is no camaraderie to this extent, like we just talked, that you spend time outside of the gym. I don't think it's that popular. So how do you imagine gyms operate and how create this camaraderie?
I think
Well, I think the first good thing I would say that comes up to my mind, outside of the gym, is going to eat,
That's
Like
true.
you gotta train and then you gotta eat. And we've been blessed to be with people that will literally know that. And for me, my mom's a chef, so food is a big part of my love language. Even when I tell a girl, you want me to like you, feed me. You know what I'm saying? And then we have these guys like Tuco, Ismail that are, feeding us, we're eating with them. And to me, that's how us as humans, we connect when you're eating together, you know what I mean? That's a real connection.
that's true. I think that's probably one of the answers, What's the biggest way to build that camaraderie is to eat together. I feel even when we went to
100%.
Morocco, we had these friends. We had we met these guys and we were being cool, but the best times that we had together was when we were eating together,
100%.
There was a couple times. There was one specific time where after training at night, they brought us to this place. It was kebab, and we just had a great time. And it was just literally eating. We just went out to eat, And I remember that's probably one of the best memories we got over
Yeah.
there. Yeah, literally just
100%.
hanging out, spending time and talking, because after training, right, is the best conversation, because there's absolutely nothing. It's just probably talking about nonsense,
Yeah.
but it's just we're all laughing and chopping it up, yeah. Simple as that.
What do you think makes a good training partner and basically a friend? Like, do you care about their private life, like let's say what their political views and stuff, or you just, as long as they're good on the mat, it's like, do you separate those parts of life or
Yeah.
not?
It just, I feel like it depends on like, obviously if you see things more similar, because it just so happens that, right, we also see the world very similarly.
That's very true.
So obviously that's gonna help. But even people that, right, I don't see similarly, we can, right, still train together and be cool. But yeah, the outside is gonna depend on, I mean, the thing is we could have different views and we could talk about it. There's people that just don't like to talk about it, or, right, then they're like, closed off when it comes to that. But
I'm asking about this, about the approach. It's like, you don't care about other aspects of person's life, let's say, not because I brought up politics because it's the easiest topic, but you can say about
No, I don't think so.
the relationships or whatever.
I think just being right, carefree, like joking around, right? You don't got to be too serious, but I don't think that we really judge anybody for how they really are thinking or what they're
like, for
doing at
example,
home.
we're just gonna say this, but like we're Muslim. I grew up Catholic, and so did he, and we converted to Islam. But on Mondays there's Bible study, and they invite us, and we're here, we're eating, we pray with them, eat with them, and talk about the Bible with them.
That's true.
And
Very
and so it's like,
yeah,
like
so
you're
friends,
saying,
anybody can be friends in the gym 100%. I think it's just about, right, being cool, right, being
More like organic.
yeah, more
Exactly.
organic,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And the
yeah.
thing is,
100%
right, what makes a
genuine.
good training partner is also kind of, it's like, right, obviously you have to take the fighting serious, but there's a point where, right, it gets too serious. Like if you're taking the training too serious, then people probably aren't gonna like you that much.
Exactly.
But you do have to take the training serious to protect yourself. Obviously, I think that it's a healthy balance. Obviously, everything is in a healthy balance. Taking it serious, because you don't want a partner that's not taking it serious, but you don't want a partner that's trying to hurt you, that's for sure. Like you don't want them going game speed all the time. So I feel like it's just about reading the room. It's hard to explain, right? It's just about reading the room and trying to be cool, yeah.
How do you guys imagine your future? Like let's say you got a fight in Asia, you got a fight in Middle East. Do you plan on living together, training together? What's the plan for the friendship and also partnership?
I think, right, I mean, it's gonna be hard to not live together at this point now, I feel like, doing the fighting, because just like the Bulgarian horses, right, it's better to train when you have somebody else with you all the time, right? We can do more things, hold pads for each other, partner drills, this, that, and the third, wrestle with each other, right? Partner drilling, wrestling, and stuff like that. But I think our plan for the future is to, be together as long as we're
even
training,
right,
as
the
long as we're
only
training.
time we wouldn't be together is when we have we find our wives, right?
then,
But
right,
even
we'll
when we
probably
find
live
our
close.
wives, we wouldn't, we would definitely still be living on the same street.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%.
Like it wouldn't, because then when you really think about it, it's like you would have to have a reason to move somewhere else, and as of now, right, there's no reason.
That's true.
Right? Who else would I want to, like you're saying, like I'd say tolerate all day long, but and also appreciate. Like I feel like it's because we have different styles, but we like similar things, and then everybody sees the world differently. So even someone who's not that good may have something that you don't know about. You know what I mean?
That's very true.
So when we both can look at the same thing through different perspectives, it's like we can, how do I explain? Like we were saying, meshing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it's like, right, it's just like when you were in school and you would write an essay and they would say your partner would like check on it or something like that. It's the same thing, So
100%.
yeah.
You're the same weight class? Or?
No, he's 70 and then I'm 85.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm one weight class under him.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's true what he just said. We just build, we have different ways of thinking about fighting. And so when we put our ideas together, we have all the tools that we need to get the job done.
Exactly.
I honestly think so. And I feel like Yeah, right. Again, what he said, we do see the world similar. Like, right, it's obviously we have different styles, but when we think about fighting, it is only one way to do it, right? You gotta hurt the guy, right? It's predator prey. It's not about, right?
And it's like a tribe, like, right, at this point, he's part of my tribe, and you know, like, even when, right, we're out in the street with his dad, people think that I'm his son too, you know what I mean? And so, you know, I know we've heard stories like John Jones used to live with Colby, or Masvidal was cool with Colby Covington, whatever, but those stories is not anywhere the same how we are, you know? 100%. And I feel like the more we build together, the more, right, we're just gonna be meshed together, you know what I mean? So 100%. It's like, it's, you know, it's just like primal instincts, like you just want to stick with your people, you know?
Type, yeah, I think so.
And when you're fighting, when's your next fight?
We're fighting same night.
Yeah, same night, June 19th.
Pro debut, June 19th.
On CFFC next week,
UFC Fight Pass.
Who fights first on the card?
We don't know. We don't know. Yeah.
I hope it's me so I can watch him. So, yeah.
Me too.
If I am stuck in the back and I can't watch, I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah.
If I'm stuck in the back, you good.
Impa.
Yes, sir.
It's a world champion.
You want to know another crazy coincidence? Is that me and Impa graduated from the same high school, actually.
Yeah, from the same.
Oh, okay. Wait, where'd you graduate from? Providence. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, right, but that's true. But right,
same town, like
same town, right? His brother, actually, I knew about his brother playing basketball. I remember freshman year of high school, I went to his brother's basketball game and watched his brother hooping. Right, under Coach Kraft, right? Everything. I've played under the same coach as his brother and everything.
Yeah.
His sister plays volleyball. My sister plays volleyball.
Your sister plays volleyball too?
Yeah, exactly. Crazy coincidence, really. I'm telling you, everything is just lining up crazy.
I saw you with that little shirt from Jimbo.
Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly. Crazy stuff.
But
I'm
you
telling you.
started training together in here, right?
Yeah,
that's where we met.
Yeah, exactly.
The first gym that I went to, he was at.
Right. So I'm right. Whole time, right. I know his little brother, and then he was like, "Great. Oh, you went to Jim O at the gym in Charlotte." He's in right again. A crazy coincidence. He's about to fight somebody. He was about to fight somebody from Jim O, but he was like, "You from Charlotte?" And I was like, "Yeah, I actually am." He's like, "What high school you go to?" I'm like, "Audrey Kell." He says, right, his brother played there, and I knew exactly, right when you said your brother's name, I was like, "Oh, I know exactly who that is," right? Literally, no question, I know exactly who that is. That's crazy. Yeah, it's just crazy, small world, yeah. I'm telling you, right? And now, right, he's big bro, say world champion, everything, I'm telling you. Yes, sir, I'm telling you.
I think these two right here are gonna be real special.
I appreciate that, bro, I appreciate that.
Two champions.
I'm telling you, I appreciate that.
And stuff.
Right.
I was telling Dieter about that shot he was doing.
I appreciate that, I appreciate that.
Yeah, but we're just talking how crazy it is that those guys live together, train together, and they make their professional debut on the first card together.
That's true.
You'll see them in the UFC.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Both these guys will be champions for real.
Thank you, bro.
Appreciate you. That means a lot coming from
Yes, sir.
Special. It's like I'm telling you. Challenging rounds, everything for real.
Thank you, bro.
It's funny how small the world is.
Yeah, small world, bro. Yes, sir.
That's good though. Look at y'all.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
We're good, I think.
Yes.
Like half an hour, bro.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's cool.